Hey there, friends. Today, let's dive into one of the most captivating stories to emerge from the Chernobyl disaster. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, leading to one of the worst nuclear accidents in history. But today, we're not just talking about the disaster itself. We're focusing on the bizarre and intriguing monsters that have come out of the exclusion zone since then. What happened to the wildlife? Did radiation cause strange mutations? Let's explore how nature has reacted to this catastrophic event and what it can teach us. So, before we get into the creepy crawly details, let's set the stage a bit. On April 26, 1986, a reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine underwent a catastrophic failure. The explosion that followed released a massive amount of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over large parts of Europe. People living nearby had to evacuate as authorities scrambled to contain the damage. Fast forward a few years, and the area in a 30-kilometer radius around the plant became the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a no-go zone for humans. Why? Because the radiation levels were still dangerously high. But here's the kicker. Nature didn't just stop there. In this eerie, abandoned environment, life managed to carry on, but in some pretty unexpected ways. Okay, let's take a moment to chat about mutations. In simple terms, mutations are changes in the DNA of organisms, and these can be caused by different factors, one big one being radiation. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for Chernobyl's flora and fauna? Well, the high levels of radiation created a breeding ground for unexpected changes in DNA. So while many people left, some plants and animals stuck around, adapting to their new harsh reality. The results? A mixed bag of strange and at times disturbing mutations. Now, what exactly did we find in this post-apocalyptic wonderland? Surprisingly, Chernobyl has turned into a weird haven for wildlife, including species that have been heavily impacted by radiation. For instance, let's talk about the plants first. Some scientists have reported strange growth patterns in flora, with some plants developing leaves that are larger and thicker than normal. Then there are the animals. Locals have spotted animals like wolves, deer, and even bears roaming the area, some showing unique characteristics. Incredibly, studies found that certain species of birds change their plumage colors and patterns. It's wild. However, with the good comes the odd. Reports of animals exhibiting physical deformities, like missing limbs or unusual coloration, have surfaced. Despite these mutations, many of the species seem to be thriving, showing remarkable resilience. It turns out that nature can adapt, even in the most challenging conditions. Now we get to the spooky part. After the disaster, various local legends and tall tales about monstrous creatures grew around the exclusion zone. Some folks have shared stories of bizarre sightings, like strange, hairless animals that seem to roam the ghost towns. There are whispers about creatures resembling the legendary chupacabra, leading people to wonder if the radiation surprise was just the beginning. Other tales include ghostly apparitions and reanimated animals. These urban legends have slipped into popular culture, fueled by documentaries and movies, making Chernobyl a hotspot for mystery hunters and paranormal enthusiasts. Whether these creatures exist or not, they make for some thrilling conversations, don't you think? On the more serious side of things, scientists have been all over the exclusion zone, studying the impact of radiation on wildlife. Research has revealed some intriguing findings about mutation rates and environmental adaptation. Certain studies indicate that while mutations occur, they can sometimes lead to beneficial traits, helping species survive. This incredible research not only helps us learn about ecological resilience, but also provides insight into how life can persist in extreme conditions. So if you think about it, this little corner of the world has become a natural laboratory, teaching us valuable lessons about survival and adaptation. So, there you have it. Chernobyl's monsters are a blend of the bizarre and the fascinating. Nature, despite its challenges, continues to thrive and adapt, reminding us of its incredible resilience. Thanks for joining me today on this journey into the strange. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more wild stories.